Okay, hello my friends. This is Mr. Singh from Corpus Christi, and you are watching my video on Super Inspire channel on YouTube. I am going to show you how to import class to your TI-Nspire Navigator teacher software. I'm on the document page. I'm going to click on class page, and we want to import add class. To add class, we have to create a class, or you can add one student at a time. And to do that, you need student first name, last name, username. Most of the time, we will allow the students to pick their own ID, which can be their lunch ID, and they never forget that. So you don't have to put it in here for security purposes. And then you will add a display name. You don't have to put student ID. These are not mandatory columns. You don't have to do them if you don't. And then you can assign that student the class. Let's say you want him to assign to sample roster and algebra 1 class if the student is in two classes, or if student moves, then you can assign him to another class, and so on. And then you can add next student, and you can keep going. I didn't add anything, that's why it's saying invalid first name. So we're going to cancel that. This is a longer process because you have to add one student at a time, and I'm going to show you a shorter process how to do that. So let's go back and open an Excel file, and to open Excel file we go File, Open, and I already have a file. Now what I'm going to do is show you that file. So my first period, if I open it, so what is this file? You have, when you create this file, what you have to do is you will add class name, section name, first name. These two columns were not there before in 3.1 software operating system, but newer system requires these two sections: first name, last name, username, student ID, which can be anything, right, and a password. And I leave the password blank, and you can leave it blank. Class name is algebra, and it can be algebra all the way down. Section name is U01, first period. It can be all the way down, or it can be M31, or whatever it is, whatever you just want. It's not something as linking to any database. And the first name, last name, and username. This is very important. You see that I have a John and John 1 and Mari 3. If you are a teacher and you have uh, the username, same username, some other class, let's say you have a John in second period, but you are creating a roster for third period, you cannot have two Johns. So what I recommend, and different people have their different recommendations for that, what I recommend is put the John 3, that means third period. You know, if you John 1, that means first period. But let's say you already have John, Mari 1, Mari 2, and Mari itself, then you have no choice other than saying Mari 3. So, so that way, here, if you have two Maris, then it'll be Mari 2 and Mari 3. So that way you create that, and then your student ID can be real student ID. There's a ways you can copy paste the roster from your school database, and then create a file, which is a different video, and so I'm not going to go there. So this is when it's created, then you will save it, and you, when you save it, it's saved as, someone will save it. So it's saved as, and it's a comma delimited file. It's a CSV comma delimited. So first period, right? First period CSV comma. So you click on the save type. So there are so many types, but it's right there in the middle somewhere. It says CSV comma delimited, and this is only file type navigator system accept. So that's you can do. You cannot save file another. The recommendation is when you save those files, save it under My Documents TI-Nspire. This is where your whole database is saved. So if you save it somewhere else, then it won't pull it automatically from your navigator system. So if you do that, it'll be much easier. And then you say save, and then it says I already have saved, so it says do you want to replace it? Yes. And then it says all these kind of arguments, which is most of the time are yes, and then you can close it, and you're going to argue again and you say yes, save it, and then you save it again, say it does exist, yeah, and then save yes again. So you have to go through those steps. Once you are done, then you come here, and then you can create classes. Let me show you something. This is very important. If you have this navigator system before and you have these classes before, you have to delete those classes. You don't want algebra 1, or you don't want algebra first period, like I already have deleted that class, or my class. You have to delete those classes before you will import class in this system. Otherwise you will have multiple classes and they are last year students and last year classes. So if you come to the class here, and then it says manage classes, and you click on manage classes, then it asks you what would you like to do, and then you say here um, hide. You can hide these classes if you don't want to see them, or you can go here and you say delete, and then say OK and say apply. You are about to delete a class. This will remove all data about this class from TI-Nspire Navigator software. This action is not reversible. So if you have a portfolio and you saved some lessons and quizzes onto that class, and you're planning to use that class later in the year, then don't delete it. But if that class is from last year and last year's students already passed the class, they're gone, then I recommend you that you delete that class. And that class is not there anymore. And then you go OK. Right? So look at this. Now I do not have Algebra 1 class. I have Algebra first, but don't have Algebra 1 class. So I'm going to create a class. So here we add a class and says upload CSV file, and then you go next, and then you can browse, and it takes you to documents, because this is where all your documents are. Navigator data is saved, and then you click on your TI-Nspire, and your class is right here, first period CSV, and then say open and next, and it asks you these fields. The first field is class name, section name, first name, last name, username, student ID, and password is blank. Remember, I do not have the password. But if you want that password needs to be same as student ID, then you can click here, so you can use student ID as password. And I keep it blank. So then say next, and it says your class student profile has been successfully created. And then if we go in here, we click on algebra 1, and there is my class with my 4 students and teacher. I wanted to show you very quick about saving your documents. Under setting, you also have a teacher preference. That means you can create your own as a teacher, create a teacher icon here, so you can sign in as a teacher in every classroom. Another one is change database location, which is very important. Most of the time, by default, that database location is your um, documents. But if you want to change your database location, which I do not recommend, then you will go in here, and instead of your documents, and all those documents are right here under TI-Nspire Navigator Network Manager, everything is under documents. If you want, then you can go back and create a new folder under Sue Singh or under your username, and then you can the computer will access, your navigator system will access that database every time you want to save a data or do something with it. But the recommendation is everything needs to be saved under documents under your username. So that way, every time you want to upload a file, when you're in documents and you want to upload a file, it takes you to your documents page. So here's your documents, here are your files, and if you click on this, and then it has all the files here, all the saved images are under images. So there are a lot of things you can do, a lot of things you can do with that. So keep the same location and enjoy your TI Navigator system. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I will put more videos in future. Thank you.